Welcome to the BA Coaches Show, where we talk all things Nebraska sports all the time. Interviews, breakdowns, rants, and more. Expect it all from the Nebraska diehard, Coach Ben Audi. Make sure you click the like, subscribe, or follow button and enjoy this conversation about our beloved Nebraska Cornhuskers.
Welcome to the BA Coaches Show. You guys already know who I am, but I'll introduce myself anyway. I am Coach BA, host of the BA Coaches Show. We got a solo episode today. You guys already know how that game went. I am a few days late recording this, and contrary to popular belief, it's not because of how bad we sucked. It's just been a tough few days. Got sick kids and just, you guys know how it is. Just stuff going on. So we're recording this. This will be coming out on Tuesday night. And that game was bad, boys. I don't have any other words to say. Oh, that game Friday night was terrible, my friends. Terrible. I could go through and recap like everything, like play by play of what happened. But if you're watching the BA Coaches Show, you already know. I don't need to go dig into all these stats, and you guys know how to read a box score. Okay. There are some things that I think we need to point out what we got to get better on in each phase of the game. I'll go through all that. We got our BA breakdown today, and then we're going to get the heck out of here. We're going to try and do a second episode this week previewing Purdue. That's going to be a get-right game for us. But, hey, as always, like, subscribe. Our YouTube, last week I was begging for 500. We're closing in on 600, boys. We're blowing up, at least by my standards. You guys know. We're starting to blow up. Make sure you go check out my segments on 1620 The Zone every Monday after a Nebraska game. Those are a lot of fun, talking to Gary and Nick. Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. That's a lot of fun, so go check all that out. Go follow me on all social media platforms at the BA Coaches Show. And hey, before we get into, I guess, the game, like everything, I recorded like a 2-minute video. I'll play it for you guys. This was my 10, 15 minutes after the game, just post-game thoughts, and then we'll just get into some stuff, guys.
Well, that is the life of a Nebraska fan, right? It just feels like we've been watching the same game on repeat for the last decade. Just some quick thoughts. Overall, I still feel like this program's heading in the right direction. I do truly believe that. I'm going to go back and watch it tomorrow. I can't take it tonight, but I feel like we got out-schemed. Our defense especially got out-schemed all night. Didn't look good. Illinois called a brilliant game. I'll give them that. Overtime might be the worst showing we've had in overtime in quite some time, both sides of the ball. Like, that was pathetic on both sides. But yeah, I am only half joking when I say anytime we cross the 40-yard line, I don't know if we send a field goal kicker out the rest of the year. I'm not even kidding. I don't know how we fix that right now, because it's not – I don't know. Special teams as a whole unit looks like trash. Like, I love Coach Foley. But it's hard to argue with the critics tonight on that one. So it is what it is. I'm still a believer in Tony White. I know that you guys are turning on him very fast. I think he had a bad night, and that happens in coaching. You can have a bad night. So, yeah, I think the jersey is going to be retired for a little bit. Might have to pick one of the different hats on the shelves. And, this sucks. Sucks real bad. I had predicted this as a loss in the preseason. But after seeing the way we had played the first 3 weeks, I changed it to a victory because I truly felt that we were going to come out and do it. And this is just one big old kick below the belt, right? But, hey, it's all good. We're going to rebound from this. Like I said, I do truly believe this program's heading in the right direction. So, not as strong as pregame, but still, go Big Red, baby, and rule we trust.
Yeah, so those were kind of just my like immediate post-game thoughts. And I'll be real, after a few days, I kind of feel the same way. I don't know how I feel. If we cross the 40-yard line, I don't know if it's a close game. I don't want to send our field goal unit out right now. I'm being real. It's bad. And I keep seeing the Fire Ed Foley thing. Fire Ed Foley. And okay, call me biased. I admit I love Coach Foley. He's a good man. And it bothers me when people are acting like he's terrible, doesn't understand football, whatever. I'll admit to you guys, special teams aren't looking good. Kick coverage is really bad. Punt coverage is really bad. Field goal unit's atrocious. I think covering like kick coverage and punt coverage is a lot of discipline issues. And I think we have those right now. I think if we got rid of Ed Foley tomorrow, I don't think anything changes. That's why I'm saying I've been pretty steadfast on this. If we want to have this discussion at the end of the season, it's fair. It's fair. But like, I'll be real. The one that's bothering everyone, field goal unit, that ain't changing. I don't care who the coach is. Long snapping, holding, kicking, the whole operation sucks right now. I bring in Nick Saban. I don't think that fixes anything. Sure, maybe it gets a little. I don't think it does though. I think it's that bad. We're just kind of talking on like some things that need to get better. I want to give Illinois a ton of credit here. Okay, they expose things on both sides of the ball, weaknesses that I think we thought might be there, but now we know that they are exploitable. Offensively, I'll say I'm not that upset with the offensive performance. I think Marcus Satterfield called a fantastic game. There are some key areas, though, that we need to get addressed, like now. The inability to run the football inside with our inside zone, split zone, our power plays, counter, like that's foundational shit in our offense, guys. And when that falters, it put a ton of pressure on the entire unit. Okay. I've been quite vocal on this show. I've been quite vocal when I've gone on the radio. I believe this is a run first offense. I do. If you just look at the personnel we have, if you look at the way Marcus Satterfield has called games, I believe this is a run first offense. During that game, multiple times I was finding myself being like, I don't give a damn about anything I said. Just put the ball in 15's hands. Okay. I will steal this phrase from lots of people that have used this phrase in the past, but like, I believe when Dylan Raiola doesn't have to do everything, he can do anything. Do you get what I'm trying to say there? Like when we're not relying on him to do everything, I think he can do anything he needs. But when we're putting so much pressure on this kid to carry this entire team, it's a lot to ask. He's the best freshman in the country. He might be one of the better quarterbacks in the country. I know people aren't ready for that conversation. I'm not going to be like the guy from BTN and say Heisman. Like, no, but I'm just saying, I think that conversation isn't that far away from him being one of the better quarterbacks in the country. Okay. But as a freshman and probably a sophomore, we've got to get the run game back on track. It's crucial. If we can establish that, it will just relieve some pressure off of Dylan and it will open up the entire playbook for us. We can create some good play action passes. We can stretch the defense. We can get some mismatches with Fedoni, some mismatches out of the backfield. It'll also help us control the clock. Coach Rule talks about this all the time, playing complementary football. Our defense didn't do a very good job for our offense, and our offense didn't do a very good job for our defense. Offensively, they did not get off. I mean, like they got off the field so quick that our defense was just out there so much. Like I think offense played a good game, but they didn't play a great game because even if we're not going to get points, we got to get a first down. Can't be going 3 and out. We can't just take like a minute and 19 off the clock or whatever. I don't have the stat in front of me, but like you guys get it, right? Defensively, I am worried. Do I have confidence? Yes, my confidence is way lower than what it was. The performance of our defensive backs especially was atrocious. There's no other way to put it. It was atrocious. The communication breakdowns seem very obvious. We weren't bracketing players properly. Our zone coverage didn't seem to be passed off. At the goal line, we just decided we're not going to cover tight ends. I think our linebackers did a good job of trying to reroute some of those guys, but no one would cover them. So I'm left wondering if the whole because our safeties were flat-footed the entire game as a receiver would like just be running deep. I'm left wondering a couple things, and I can't put my finger on which one it is just yet. Okay? I can't. Just because it's only one game I want to look at. But after the recent changes we've made, like schematically, is that it? We're running a lot more cover 2 this year. We're running a lot more match quarters, which some of those you're going to get a lot of bend, don't break stuff. Is it that we're not running the same cover 3 looks that we were running last year? The other issue that my eyes are on, I'm not blaming him, but my eyes are on it. Is it Coach Butler replacing Evan Cooper? Is he just not there yet? I know Coach Butler is a fantastic coach, but is he just not there yet? So you can say what you want about Evan Cooper, right? We don't know what happened. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole again, but like, he didn't have these issues last year. I'm just going to say it. We didn't have this same thing. So we got to find a level of cohesion and communication that is just missing this year. Coach Rule mentioned early in the week, I believe, I can't remember which press conference, but that a lot of the preparation and a lot of the way these games, like that game in particular, but a lot of games in the Big Ten would be mid-game adjustments. We saw none of that. And that's what concerns the crap out of me, guys. We continued to give up open receivers and bid on play action at the goal line. Every time at the goal line. Every time. So if these games are going to be won in the Big Ten by how well we adjust in game, I didn't see anything in that game that made me feel good about that. You know what I mean? Moving on to special teams. My Lord. We kind of touched on it already. They're abysmal this year. I think this is I mentioned it. This is the least fixable issue we have this season. I already talked. I don't think there's anything we can do. I don't think firing Coach Foley right now is the right option. I really don't think I would rather see the ball in Dylan Raiola's hands to go make a play. I really would rather have the ball in his hands. Okay. The biggest issue is maybe my most concerning as opposed to the defensive adjustments. That overtime period was the worst overtime period I have probably ever seen. Both sides of the ball, incredibly disheartening, completely collapsed. That game was technically still winnable, but to me, that game ended on that missed kick on 4th and 3. We can talk about, I think we should have went for it. It doesn't matter. That game was in overtime winnable, and it felt over. It speaks volumes about the mental fortitude that this team just hasn't shown yet. I think they can get there. I do. I believe in this freaking team. I believe in this freaking coaching staff. I'm going to start ranting here in a few, but like, I believe in this, but we got to show it. The lights can't be too bright anymore, man. That's what bothers me. We can't let inside zone go for 17 or 20, whatever how many yards that is. We can't let inside zone have no gap integrity. It is what it is. Offensively, we can't let a procedural penalty just lead to a complete meltdown. That bothered me. We had a meltdown offensively. 3 sacks, 3rd and 42. I try to put myself in Coach Rule's shoes a little bit, and I do that sometimes because I'm a weird guy. I like to think, what would I do if I was Coach Rule? How would I fix this? I do this a lot. I did this with previous guys. I did this with Frost. I did this with Riley. I was like 19 with Riley. What would I do if I'm in this situation? How would I fix what's going on? And what I would do, I'm sure he's already done this. I would call individually, I'd call each one of my coordinators in and just be like, as a unit, how the hell were we there? How were we this lack of focus to detail to where we can't cover anybody? in this overtime, how do we have no gap integrity to be able to bounce outside zone outside and take terrible tackles? How do we not cover someone in the end zone? Offensively, how do we get nothing? How do we let a 5-yard penalty end up in 3rd and 42? Then I'm pulling in as a unit, probably not like individually. I'd call all my captains in, the captains of each unit. Maybe 2 or 3 defense, 2 or 3 offense, whatever, and just be like, hey, man, how is our mindset this terrible? If we want to be competitive in the Big Ten, we can't melt down when games are close. I got it. That's what bothers me. Okay. I know that this takeaway from the game that I kind of go through each phase, I know this was super negative. I know it was. And people don't love negativity. I hate negativity. But I got to call it like I see it. Okay. When we do the Purdue preview, I'll be super positive. This is my first chance to get a talk on camera about how I feel about the game. So it is what it is. You guys are gonna have to deal with it. Honestly, biggest takeaway from the game, just moving kind of past. I let a bunch of negative stuff out. Biggest takeaway, we're gonna be fine. We are. We got a good group. I know I just shit on them for a while. We got a good group of boys. We got a great coaching staff, a fantastic coaching staff. I don't think you guys appreciate that enough. We're going to be fine, but we still have a lot of work to do. This ain't over yet. We got a lot of work to do. I know I joked around after the Colorado game came on here. Oh, Nebraska's, you guys all get it. Like, I'm joking, right? We all did this, but like, we got to figure some stuff out. Last little thing before we get into the BA breakdown. There's just one thing I want to point out. Some of the things I saw on Twitter on Friday night and Saturday as fans pissed me off. I am still fuming about it. Okay. I already kind of said, I don't think firing I don't think firing Ed Foley's the right decision right now. It bothers me that people take personal attacks at coaches. It really bothers me. I get it. They signed up for it. I get it. But my Lord, why can't we ever be happy? Marcus Satterfield. Yeah, the second half, we didn't put up a ton of points. And everyone's like, oh, it's a consistent theme throughout the year. Can you guys not understand something for me, please? Yeah, if you look at the pattern, maybe. But I don't think this is an apples to apples comparison. I don't get why it keeps getting taken out of context when I say that. The UTEP game, we're up 33 points. We won by 33. We didn't unload the playbook. Colorado, they were playing against an explosive team. We're up 28 points. I'm not mad. I'll be real. I was one of those guys right away after the game. I was like, second half offense, didn't love it. Then I heard all our coaches talking. I was like, damn, I've done that as a coach. Like, I've tried to protect the lead, drain clock, keep an explosive offense on the field. I came around on it. I was like, that makes a ton of sense. Northern Iowa. People are still complaining about the offense, even though they had a fantastic game. If you take out the kneel down, I think they scored points on 6 of their 8 drives. Got touchdowns on 4 of them. We're still freaking complaining. The only second half that I think anyone has a major complaint about is this Illinois game. But I don't think, this is a pattern. Nebraska can't do anything in the second half. It screams uneducated football talk. And I know I've been coming across as preachy and like talking down, and I get it. I'm sorry. I'm working on it. But here's why I'm ticked. I'm sick and tired of me having a disagreeing opinion and people are acting like I'm a freaking moron. That's what bothers me. Because I'm not all, I'm disappointed in what I saw on Friday. I'm disappointed. I don't think the sky's falling. I think Nebraska's just fine. But because I can't go one way or the other, now I'm a moron because I can be level-headed. I try and look at football. I told you guys, when I watch the games, I watch it as a fan, the highs, the lows, whatever. I go back and I try and break things down, take emotions all out of it. Yeah, sure, I'm biased. I'm a Nebraska fan. But I still try and look at the black and white, how it is. I try and be level-headed about my take because, yeah, I've never been a college coach, but I've coached high school. I've coached football at some level since I was 17 years old. I live and die for football right now. I try and understand things. I study things. I study trends across the country. I'm not saying that because I think I'm smart. I think I'm a dumb football guy. I'm not an offensive or a defensive genius. I'm still figuring stuff out. I get it. I'm 24. I wasn't around for the 90s stuff. I get it. But I'm not. How am I a moron? Because I keep a level head about things. It ticks me off because I say, oh, Marcus Satterfield isn't collapsing in the second half. They're doing fine. How does that make me dumb now? I don't get it. I don't get it. And like, what really ticked me off is the people going after Tony White. We all loved him. We love him. We still love him. If people are on social media, I know it's a small minority. People are going out there saying, oh, fire Tony White. Fire Tony White. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I am sick and tired of just, I don't understand. And I know there's a big thing. Oh, well, if we don't go win against Purdue by 30, 40 points, why? Why are we bad then? If we don't go put up 66 like Notre Dame did. Hey, guys, I hate to break it to you. Notre Dame's been a better program than Nebraska has. And whether we win by 15 or whether we win by 90, those points don't carry over to the next week. I'm glad with what I saw the first 3 weeks. I don't know why a lot of people aren't. I love what I saw the first 3 weeks. We get a big lead, we look good, and then we hold on to it. We got a lot of guys in on 2 of those 3 games. This isn't a pattern of, oh, Nebraska keeps collapsing. Sure, if it keeps happening into Big Ten play, I'll admit it then, but I'm not going to go back and change my takes for what happened those first 3 games. I'm not. And I'm sick and tired of being told I'm stupid or I need to sit out conversations because I'm sick and tired of it. I know I put out a tweet the other day that bothered some people, and I'll say, I wasn't saying that if you didn't play football or if you've never coached football, I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. I'm not saying you can't have a very strong opinion. But what I am saying, I want you to go around tell you people your opinion. I think every single person should have a podcast. I'm one of those guys. I know we have 100 Nebraska podcasts. Make it 1,000. I want to hear everyone's takes. What I don't want is people that don't have any credentials to back it up whatsoever telling me I'm stupid. That's what gets me. And again, I'm not saying can't have your opinion. You can disagree with me. I'm wrong a lot. I'm fine with that. Like I said, I'm not some football genius. But to be told that I'm stupid because I disagree with some random person, that's what bothers me, man. It bothers me, but it is what it is. I'm going to try not to get too fired up because we got the BA breakdown. BA breakdown might be a little bit negative today. We're going to end it on a positive note. So we're going to go through this. We're going to go through these 4 plays. I got 3 defense, 1 offense. We're going to be mad about the defense. And then we're going to end the episode on a positive note. So let's get into the BA breakdown. All right, I'll be real. This play right here might be it was the first touchdown of the game. Obviously, I'll tell you, this play might have been the one that upset me the most. I'll be real with you. It upset me the most, and I'll show you why. Okay, so we got our roving, coming over here to the tight end side, right? Basic stuff. I do not understand how this play happened. Say what you want about Coach Cooper. He did not have things like this happen in his defense. And I'm not talking smack on Coach John Butler, but I just got to say, I don't know what happened here. I don't know what the play call was here, obviously. If we were supposed to bracket this guy, this is pathetic. If we weren't supposed to bracket this guy, I don't understand. Okay, we have help over the top. How many times do I point this out when other teams do this terribly? This is like stuff that like Northern Illinois did last year, or like a Purdue did last year, like a Northwestern does. Like, this is bad football. Why do we have a safety standing flat-footed? Why? Why do we have a safety standing flat-footed? I don't understand. And if he wasn't supposed to bracket, okay, I don't think there's any defense Tony White has drawn up where this guy's just going to sit. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be an idiot here. I'm just going to guess. I don't think we're going to have too many where he's going to stand right there, okay? If he's not bracketing, though, why are we crossing face? Why are we starting inside? That's why I think this was a bracket, because we've talked about some bracketing a little bit. I think what could have happened here is we're supposed to be outside, and then safety is supposed to be sitting right here, kind of as a double team kind of look, a 2-on-1 situation, right? I think that might have been the case here, because if it isn't, I don't know what the hell we're doing, because we have good leverage here. And then we crossface. Look, as soon as that crossface happens, that's where the separation is. Why are we going outside? Because it's a huge window. It's a huge, even like take away the fact that you're that far off, but if you're at least on the inside, he's got to throw it over you. I don't know. I know I'm being super negative on this play, but I got to let that out. I don't understand how this happened. Again, I don't know what the defensive play call here is, but either way, it was atrocious. I'm just going to play at full speed for you guys and move on. Move on to the next, because that's not good. I don't understand. I don't know. This play right here is one of the highlights. It's the only offensive play I'm showing today, and I thought this was well. The reason I'm including this play is just for those of you that just have been so critical of Marcus Satterfield, saying he's stupid, saying he doesn't know how to use Thomas Fidone. Oh, Coach BA, you said that Thomas Fidone was going to do all these things. Yeah, I wish that we would have been using him like this, but I could see what he was doing. If you listen to Matt Rule, I think you'd be able to see what this team has been doing. There's a reason we haven't seen a ton of it yet. It's because we've been up by so much. We were kind of saving some of those things. It's not that complicated. So I'm including this play in here as just kind of a, hey guys, Marcus Satterfield didn't just forget how to use Thomas Fidone. I have been critical of Marcus Satterfield in the past. I have, and I'll be real with you. This is stupid to be critical of him for. Okay, let's just talk about what I like about this play. I think formationally, this was a great. This is our flex nub trips, or nub flex trips, whatever you want to call it. Obviously, we got trips here. The reason it's a nub trips is how we call that. It's a tight end solo away from the trips. So it kind of puts you in a little bit of a tough spot here, because you have a run strength with the tight end, right? But then you also have the trips over here. And this is going to play a factor into this, as we can see. The play design of this, I really, really like, because if you look like here, first eyes, you can see Dylan's looking over here, first eyes. Okay. And this is where the defensive focus is going to be. We're going to go 2 inside routes and like a corner push route right here. Looks like a corner, but kind of he rounds it off kind of like a dig. So dig, corner, whatever here. They defend this pretty well. But here's why the nub trips thing is pretty brilliant to me. I know we have a safety, but he's dropping deep. So we basically got 2 guys here. 2 guys. This guy's sitting and dropping. And that's why Marcus Satterfield does a fantastic job of this. As soon as he sits, yes, he's moving his feet. He's moving his feet a little bit, but he's moving them north to south, right? He's not really in a good position to move east to west. And that's why you have such a big window there. And we did such a good job of we knew where they were going to drop. We've seen it on film. This is about where they're going to drop to. We sneak in right behind them and look at that window. And that's because we have this safety dropping. This was a beautiful play call. You guys need to give Marcus Satterfield more credit. I don't think he forgot. This is how I've been wanting to use Thomas Fidone, and I think we're going to see him more. I don't think that we just forgot how to use him. I don't know. This breakdown is going to be kind of negative on just like defensively, I'm not happy, and offensively, I don't understand why it took you guys so long to just figure out that we didn't forget how to use him. Wide open window, great throw, great strike. I'm including this play. You guys will understand. This play was very frustrating, and it's because we kept freaking biting on it. So obviously we got heavy at the goal line. They're heavy at the goal line. We're heavy at the goal line. Okay, if this was a run play, we do a very good job. I think John Bullock is supposed to be here. How do we not have anyone in the end zone? How? This is what bothered me. It's like we're not even out there. I think it's this guy right here. I can't tell who he is just based off this right here, but like, what are we doing? Did you bite down on the run that hard? How do we not have anyone covering deep? I know we're at the goal line, but how do we? Because Bullock gets his hands on him a little bit. I wish he would have. He did. Okay, I take it back. He did a decent job. He got hands on him, and then I think covered his area. How do we not have anybody? That's what's frustrating to me. I'll play it in full speed. I don't have a ton to add here. I just wanted to like the fact that this happens so often is what bothers me, if that makes sense. It just repeatedly happened. That's what's getting me. Yeah, touchdown. Play action all night was there. Last play here, I want to point out in overtime. You guys already know what happens on this play. This was some of the worst defense. I mean, obviously the overtime performance as a whole, I've gone over that. It was trash. Okay. This is what bothers me. We got an easy flat motion. Okay. We shift over a little bit. This play right here, they are just running inside zone. This is some of the worst gap sound defense I've seen from a Tony White defense. This was pathetic. How? Literally, as soon as he hands this ball off, quarterback's pointing. Look at that. I mean, look. Then we got people falling around. Then we just take poor angles. Like, what's this pursuit angle right here? And then we go down, which slows our other guy down. I'll be real. We should have given up a touchdown here. What pursuit angle is this? I'll be real. These are all fixable. We got a lot of stuff to clean up, boys. This should have been a touchdown. We're lucky as crap that he stepped out of bounds. We should have given up a touchdown on the first play. And then we did on the second play. You guys already know that. But, like, how are we taking tracking the near hip? How are we ending up behind is my – I don't know. I know Tony White's having a field day with these boys this week. If it's upsetting me as a fan several days later, I know that Tony White, like, this is just terrible angles. How are we ending up behind? I'll play it in full speed. I don't know. This week's BA breakdown was very negative defensively because there's so many lowlights, and I didn't even play them all. I just played the ones that really pissed me off. I didn't even play the big ones. Terrible, man. Terrible. So, yeah, I know that BA breakdown was pretty negative, but hey, you know what? We're going to go positive. I want to say, as of this recording, I'm at 571 subscribers on YouTube. Thank you for that. Thank you for all the support. I know whether it's been on this podcast or on Twitter or whatever, I might be insufferable sometimes, but that's okay. You guys support me anyway. And if I'm at a spot where if being my real and authentic self and giving my real feelings on things upsets you to the point you don't want to listen anymore, I understand. I won't lie. I will never be upset with anyone who hates my show or hates me. You want to know why? I hate myself, so I get it. So thank you for giving me the support. You guys have put me in a spot where people want to hear my opinions on things. So, like, I get to go on the radio every Monday and talk Husker football. I get to have a podcast that gets thousands of views. Like when I put out like breakdowns, like I get over 1,000 views on them. I'll get like hundreds of views on people are listening to my audio versions. Like, thank you for tuning in. Make sure you tune in to everywhere where you can find my stuff, everywhere. NBNRpodcast.com, go to the blog, Red Zone Reflections, check me out there. Go to Character Chronicles, go check out, we got tons of Husker podcasts, YouTube shows, blogs. Go check Character Chronicles, lots of Husker content. The BA coaches shows on there as well. Just go check it all out. Go check me out every single Monday on 1620 The Zone, talking Husker football. And yeah, like I said, thank you. We're going to wrap up this episode. So as freaking always, GBR, and in rule we trust.